Police are adamant they're slowly turning the tide against cash and transit robberies. Minister Beki Cele and his team say there's been a decrease in the number of heists reported between April and November this year, compared to the same period last year. ENCA's Malongelo Boy reports.
It's scenes like these that are often violent that leave cash and transit guards severely injured or dead. These crimes are all too common in communities across South Africa. Although the annual crime stats released in September show an increase in such incidents, the police's top brass says the outlook is improving. Between April to November 2018, 118 cash and transit robberies were recorded. That's down compared to the same period last year, where 184 robberies took place. Police attribute this improvement to their 72-hour action plan.
This plan entails the maximum mobilization of resources, including crime intelligence, forensic experts, the Hawks, seasoned detectives, and technical team for 72 hours period to ensure that critical information, intelligence, and evidence that ensure breakthrough in investigation is not lost.
Between April and November 2018, police arrested 237 suspects, 92 vehicles recovered, 78 firearms seized, and over 1,400 ammunition recovered. Police say crime intelligence is also stepping up to the plate as several suspects have been arrested for plotting to carry out cash and transit robberies.
In Midrand, suspects were arrested in planning stages. 12 of the suspects were arrested. 3 firearms were recovered. 90 rounds of ammunition were recovered. 6 hijacked vehicles were recovered in the same premises that were getting ready to go and hit.
The SAPS says an officer was also arrested in Brits in the northwest. Malungelo Boy, Pretoria.
A woman whose mother went missing during the Life Esidimeni patient relocation saga says she'll never trust government again. And she's not alone. The whereabouts of 21 other mentally ill patients who've been missing since 2016 are unknown. Gauteng health authorities have appealed to the public to help find them. At least 144 psychiatric patients died after authorities moved more than 1,700 mentally ill patients to ill-equipped NGOs. ENCA's Masego Rahlaga reports.
The Life Esidimeni tragedy continues to haunt the Gauteng Health Department, with patients still missing and more families approaching government for compensation. Mpho Chabalala's mother is living with dementia. Mpho says she struggled for several weeks to trace her after she was moved from the Life Esidimeni facility in Germiston in 2016. She finally located her mother at an NGO in Pretoria.
Immediately after that, we decided that, you know what, I don't think this is a safe place for Yena to stay in. Then we tried by all means to find other places, of which other places, it's places that you pay and they're very expensive. But we said, you know what, for our loved one, we'll make sure that we'll find a proper place. We found a proper place. And then we only found out that, you know what, the government didn't even know what happened to our loved one, because apparently her name was not with the list of other people, you know, the deceased and the living ones. Her name was found on the missing people's list.
Chabalala says she'll never trust the government again.
I'm still, you know, very, very fragile about my mother's case. I'm not even sure that I would want to take her back to Esidimeni or any government thing. I'll rather spend the money that I don't have, because you can never stay with someone with dementia. You never know what may happen at any time.
The Gauteng Health Department says it's hoping to locate the missing 21 patients soon. It also says it's waiting to hear when court cases against implicated officials will begin.
The case still continues. We haven't seen the start of the court cases yet. The police and the Special Investigating Unit is busy with following up all the evidence, all the witnesses currently, and we hope to see that only happening next year. But then it's these pieces still laying around, like the 21 users that we're looking for. I've got hope that we should find more of them.
There are some former senior government officials whom families want to see being held personally liable for how their loved ones died. Masego Rahlaga, Johannesburg.
The International Relations Department says the passports of South African journalist Angela Quintal and her Kenyan colleague Mutoki Mumo have been returned. The two were detained for a few hours in Dar es Salaam and Tanzania on Wednesday night. International Relations confirmed their release on Thursday. Quintal is the Africa Program Coordinator for the Committee to Protect Journalists. Earlier, the CPJ cast doubt on a tweet by Quintal that the pair had been freed. SA's High Commissioner Tammy Msoleko is meeting with the journalists to discuss the details of their arrests. The South African National Editors Forum says it's disturbed to learn of Quintal and Mumo's detention. When we come back, newly appointed Cape Town Mayor Dan Plato promises to tackle service delivery. Details shortly.